All right, folks, welcome back. Episode 27 of the Ginge Ball Pod. We got Mr. Becker back after a week hiatus. Beck, how we doing, man?
Yeah, shout out my boy Hunter for holding down the fort. I'm doing terrific. Happy to
With
be
the
podding.
the 20-minute solo Thanksgiving pod.
It's special. Talk about dedication. People don't really understand in 2025 what dedication to craft is. Or just love for the game. Like that. That's truly it right there. So shout out to you. I salute you.
Special Yap powers. But
Beautiful.
today we're gonna go a little bit beyond just the NFL talk. We're gonna start with some NBA stuff. Obviously, Giannis, some big news breaking over the past week with him, and then we'll get into some Lane Kiffin and all the college football coaching carousel, and then we'll get into some bigger picture NFL stuff. But up top, we get a report earlier this week. I think originally it came from Wendy, was it?
Yeah, he's always the type of guy who gets these type of stories out.
Dude, he is the T. I fucking love Wendy because he's not like a reporter. Like if you go to his Twitter, it's not like the Shams where it's like a new report every day about some random bullshit transaction.
Yeah,
It's like a tweet every 3 weeks with like a big something big. Like
yeah.
he's just the tea leaf guy.
It feels
He
like he
can
waits on his sources and tries to validate it more so than other guys, which makes it,
right.
way more endearing and powerful to us. Wow,
Yeah.
holy shit, powerful.
Yeah, you start tearing up a little bit. He just means a little more to me.
My boy Wendy.
Yeah, but so Wendy breaks the news that apparently Giannis. Well, so the one thing I was confused about was originally it sounded like Giannis had already asked for a trade in the offseason. And then today he goes on ESPN and says Giannis hasn't said explicitly that he wants to go anywhere, which kind of contradicts some of the things he's already said. But end all be all, Giannis might want out of Milwaukee. We don't know if he's formally asked for a trade, but he's definitely interested in the prospects of going elsewhere, especially amidst this shit start to the season for Milwaukee. Even though they've had some jumps from Ryan Rollins and some of the other tertiary guys. Just ice a little bit on what this means for the league and sort of how you interpret this news when it came out.
Yeah, to me, Giannis speaking in like coded language and hieroglyphics wouldn't be of any surprise it shouldn't be of any surprise to anybody. So if he hasn't formally said I want out, I don't think he's that type of person to do that. Um, I could see him giving like an ultimatum of some sort of like over the summer if we're not good by set date, then
LeBron style.
yeah. And he definitely does have that side to him where it's like if he's completely swayed and wants out, then I think he's gonna get his way and he'll do whatever it is to accomplish that. So it might get ugly soon here if they continue this downward spiral. I mean, they're 9-8 with him. They're 1-5 without him. So
Yeah,
that's
they're
kind of
awful without
yeah,
him.
it's kind of been the trend. And yeah, this year started out good. They had the win over the Clippers without him, and that's the game Rollins went off and kind of thought I was vindicated in my prediction there. But yeah, this team sucks. This team
Yeah.
flat out sucks, and I'm interested to see if he's the first tea leaf to go or it's some other move before that. Because I feel
Well,
like this December 15th deadline holds a lot of weight when these guys can
right.
start to get moved. Like,
Yeah.
is Kaminga gonna be somehow in a three-team deal here? That's something I wonder. Anthony Davis. Those would be the two other names that are definitely gonna be. There's gonna be some buzz about them getting moved, and
Yeah.
from there, we'll see how this goes. I don't think Giannis is gonna be the first domino to fall though. I definitely. It's just tough, especially with the CBA to make the money match.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. But if I had to put, it feels like the Knicks is the one that keeps popping up, weirdly enough. And I
I've
feel
seen
like
Spurs.
I've seen Spurs too, but
I don't know how they make that money work though.
I'm not sure if they're willing to do that either.
They don't have big contracts. I guess Fox, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't think they're willing to mortgage their future right now, especially like if Wemby's hurt, because you have a
Right.
2 to 3 year window with Giannis if you make this move, and if he's hurt this year, then it goes down to like a 2 year window when he's at his peak. Because I mean, without a jumper, he's not gonna if his explosiveness to getting to the rim slows down any such bit, then that's going to make things, more complicated, especially with how much money he's getting. And just the fit with Wemby with him, I feel like you put Wemby on the outside more than you would want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I
Unless they
do.
had a good strategy to implement like pick and roll every time with them.
I mean, I
And
just
then
think,
in that case, you definitely need to get Fox out of there. And I don't see the value in Harper at that point. Like there's a lot of you would need more
yeah,
off-ball shooting around them. So I kind of like the Knicks spot. It makes sense to me. They would be willing to move off Towns. Towns
yeah,
would be able to make the money match.
yeah, they have big
Just comes
contracts.
down if the Bucks are more so in the mindset we want to do right by Giannis or we're getting the best deal here. Because I don't think the Knicks is the best deal, but I think it's the easiest for me to kind of visualize the money matching
Yeah.
up and both sides, or at least the Knicks being willing to do that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. The Knicks was the one that was sort of the fun, hot button talking point in the offseason. Obviously, partially because Stephen A was pushing it and he has a ginormous platform, but that also just made some of the most sense, especially the one thing that they were talking about in the offseason, which wasn't like a fully formed, it was more of like a half-baked thought, but there were people putting out the idea that like they wouldn't be opposed to Brunson being part of a deal. If they were to make like a crazy deal, which never really made sense to me, especially just because I think the fit with Brunson and Giannis would be perfect. But yeah, I think the Knicks would be one suitor. The Spurs, I do think their defense would be like otherworldly good, and I think that's the appeal for it for San Antonio, and also just having like that mentor for Wemby, like seeing, okay, this is sort of end game, and he could even surpass that, but this is sort of like the superstar, you know, boiled down version of you. You can even be much better than that. The thing is, yeah, you have to match salaries, and I do think that there are some other dominoes around the league that might fall with Zion, obviously. Your guy Ja, I think, is going to be
Mhm.
potentially on the move. And there's some other big names that are still out there. The Clippers are now dog shit. I mean, I don't see the point in them punting. I guess maybe they try to recoup some draft capital because they've given all of theirs away.
I mean, they're back. Chris Paul's gone now, so
Yeah. Yeah. How about that, by the way?
yeah.
Holy shit. I
Well,
thought,
we'll get to that. I forgot to put that on the
yeah.
agenda, but
Yeah. Like, yeah, we'll get to that. But so, I mean, there's teams now, and this is the part of the season I love because teams start to sort of see who they are. And now the Clippers are like, oh, wait, we're dog shit and we have no draft capital. And then there's the teams like the Suns who like overperformed a little bit, and you would have thought coming into the year that some of their guys would be potentially on the move, but now it's like, I don't know, they're like a frisky playing team. So what's the point in them doing anything right now? So yeah, I mean it's interesting. The thing with Giannis is he is so loyal almost to a fault to Milwaukee that it's difficult to see this being messy in the way that I think it would be for some of the other stars. Like for LeBron,
I mean, no, I would compare it to Dame. I mean, that ended
yeah,
up getting
right,
messy
right, right,
after a
exactly.
while, but
Like, and even in that case, like Dame ends up coming. I mean, obviously it's because he had a kind of a rough stint with injuries and everything in Boston, but I mean in Milwaukee. But like for Giannis, you just don't see this being the kind of thing where like he leverages an agent to like make this difficult for Milwaukee. Like what you said in the beginning, where you're like, do the Bucks try to do right by him, or do they try to, just get as much capital as they can? I think it's kind of going both ways, where I think Giannis probably is loyal to Milwaukee and saying like he might want them to get like a good package back. Like I don't think he would be the guy to like force his way to the contender and like force Milwaukee's hand to like not take enough back. Do you agree with
yeah.
that or no?
I feel like the parallels to the Dame situation are so there. The
Yeah.
like McCollum and Middleton getting dealt like a year or two prior. That's your co-star. And then it
Mhm.
kind of gets, I mean, if Giannis has an agent that he dedicates himself to and it's windy, like the Chris Haynes with Dame,
Right.
you never know how this can go. If it comes to a head, then it could get weird. Because I mean, Dame wanted to go to Miami by all accounts the
Yeah,
whole
he
time.
did. Yeah.
And that's the next kind of thing that we need to see is does Giannis have a preferred destination? Because we haven't got that yet. And I feel it's going to be another month or two till we get that. But that's going to be interesting to see. Like, because I don't know. And do you have like an inclination yet if he like New York or a big city is where he wants to go, or it's just like get me on a contender?
Yeah, I don't
Like
I
we have
don't
no idea, and we didn't
I mean,
have.
obviously, the only thing we know is winning matters, obviously, or none of this would be a discussion. because obviously he loves it in Milwaukee. He raised, his kid there. He's beloved there. He won a title there. So clearly he doesn't care as much about the big city, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that's really part of the calculus for him. And I'm just talking out of my ass here, but like, I think to me, everything points to him just wanting to contend. I think that's what he's hungry for, and that's what he wants next, which New York is a destination where
Yeah,
that's 100% possible. And in this weak East, I mean, bro, Detroit's the one seed in the East right now. Like,
yeah.
I
Do they
love
want to keep him
Detroit,
in the like?
but like,
That's the thing we underrate with these teams. Do they care about keeping him in conference or not? Like, is that because sometimes that's a deal breaker for these teams? It honestly is. Even though you only face them two more times than you would if they're on the other side of the conference, but that matters
yeah.
in some ways.
Do you
And I
think it
feel
would
like
matter in the state that Milwaukee's going to be in though, if when they deal him? Like, I guess the one thing
depends on
is,
ownership, dude. Ownership's weird. Like, and
yeah.
management's weird.
Well, and
Uh,
Horst is a weird GM, dude. Like, he's not. First of all, he's not especially good as a GM. Like,
yeah.
the whole reason we're in this situation is because John Horst hasn't put the right players around Giannis. Like, he's kept this same weird hodgepodge of like role players that, like, Pat Connaughton was like their third man for a while. Like, this has just never been. There's never been enough pieces.
Yeah, I think it's a financial thing. I think they went all in with the Drew move first. They got one, and then they tried to go all in with the damn move. And after that, I mean, their money's tied.
Yeah. So I mean, and yeah, it's just interesting. We also this has been. I mean, Giannis trade speculation has been going on for the past couple years. Like, this goes to the beginning of when all of the Dame stuff was kind of going to shit. So I mean,
What about Atlanta?
what? So now that's interesting because
The
you have,
pick. It's the pick from
yeah.
New Orleans that makes that interesting.
Well,
And
and you have some bigger I mean,
Trey.
yeah. I mean, Trey, KP's an
Yeah.
interesting contract.
It would probably be like a Trey and KP for Giannis and like another guy who makes a decent amount of money on the Bucks. That's not like terrific, but is serviceable, which
But
I can't
my
really name that player off the top
my
of my
thing
head,
with
but
my thing with Giannis to Atlanta is, if you get rid of Trey, what's the appeal of Giannis in Atlanta? Because Trey and Giannis is like a match made in heaven, playstyle wise.
you think Jalen Johnson's better, which
I love Jalen Johnson, but
that narrative's starting to grow though, and you can pull the same card you are with the Spurs, defensive juggernaut with Tim Dyson.
well, yeah, they'd be
Yeah, you got some bigs there. You got Nikhil.
Alexander Walker. Yeah,
Yeah, like you're a long team that's gonna be make its mark on the defensive end, which is kind of like Quinn Snyder's calling card since he was in Utah with Gobert, and now
yeah.
he has more personnel to do that. Now, I mean, you can look at it the same way at the Knicks. Like the East is very weak right now, so maybe a team like that is a team that makes a move. That would be the other East team that I would
Also,
think of right there.
yeah. Also, Porzingis is on an expiring deal, which is really enticing. If you could get
Yeah.
a $30 million expiring on your books, that's very valuable. Like,
So what's Trey and KP's money together? What is that? Because that's got to be more than
uh,
Giannis by a decent amount, right?
it's 75 together.
And is Giannis like 50 or 60?
Giannis is up there. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, the money starts to make a lot more sense if you include both.
Yeah.
Giannis on 54 this year.
Yeah, so you need 21 million to match, and then that's where I don't know where that comes from the Bucks. That's my one thing about it. Like they could definitely find something. Maybe it's a three-team deal, but
Dude, that I'm starting to think about that Hawks defense with Double O, Giannis, Jalen Johnson, Dyson
yeah,
Daniels. Dude, that defense would be clamps
dude. I mean, they'd probably be the favorite if
in the East.
yeah.
Yeah, I do think that offense would be kind of weird. I know Jalen Johnson's been much better as like a primary ball handler and playmaker, but the offense would be a little bit clunky. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of like a Carmelo Armari Stoudemire fit
yeah.
in New York type of thing. I get that. That would be my hesitancy, but I mean, if you're Atlanta, go for it. Like fuck it.
I mean, yeah, you're already in a spot. Well, I guess the one thing with Atlanta is they have this young core now. Say whatever you want about Shea, but he's only 20. So like I don't I mean, obviously I don't think he's gonna recoup that like top draft capital, but he's he's part of that young core with Double O, with Jalen Johnson, with Dyson still only 22. Like they have a really good young core, and getting rid of I'm kind of talking myself into this because getting rid of both Trey and KP kind of solves the puzzling part of this roster. Like it kind of just answers all of the
Yeah.
like
And that's where I like it. I mean, you still have a question mark as is, so why not get
yeah,
better and still have a question mark?
and consolidate a little bit.
Yeah,
Like
every East team has a question mark.
right. And I'm trying to think like what so let me pull up the Bucks salaries because I think you'd need another what'd we say 20 mil on top of
21.
the Giannis contract.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's gonna have to be by way of third
and are
team.
the Bucks over the first apron? No, they're not.
Maybe with the Dame contract, like is that because they have to eat that money?
Yeah, they do. Oh fuck. I forgot they're strapped with
Yeah.
the Miles Turner Dame. Oh fuck.
Which makes it this money has to add up
Yeah.
exactly.
You know what's funny? You know whose contract is $22 million dollars?
Miles Turner, right?
Well, Miles Turner's 25. Guess who's 22?
Kuzma.
Yes, dude.
God, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's why. Like, if I'm Atlanta, I don't want that at all. I'm getting a third team involved ASAP.
Dude, the Bucks cap is so funny. It's just Giannis, Turner, Kuzma, Bobby Portis, and then a bunch of like rookie deals.
Yeah, that's why
It's so funny.
you need that. Like Trey can at least
Yeah,
get
they
fans in the
literally
seats.
need contracts too. Like,
Trey can at least get fans in the seats, and then you need a top five pick because this draft's good.
like
Yeah,
historically good. I mean, it's interesting. And that's like I feel like the teams that we're hearing about, right? Also, like Golden State was the team that was getting thrown around a lot,
yeah,
and
no, fuck, never. They're
that's
never
not
doing that.
that, and that doesn't. I don't know if you were watching the Sixers Golden State game tonight. Golden State's not like Giannis away from contending right now. Like,
They're the same way they've been every year since the championship. They're like
right,
a 4 to 8 game over 500 team. They're not.
dude.
And Jimmy Butler's like done to me. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't got the
he
juice at
might.
all.
They also don't. Jimmy and Steph like aren't playing a lot of games this year.
Which I said Jimmy Butler's an underrated guy who doesn't
Oh
suit
yeah,
up.
no.
Yeah.
Jimmy's the guy who's like gone under. Like we always talk about Kawhi and Embiid. Like we talk about the same
Davis,
guys every
yeah,
year. Jimmy somehow avoids all that slander despite never playing more than 50 games.
because he's a dog. He's had dog moments
Yeah,
in the playoffs. That's why.
exactly. Bro, this has been my take on Jimmy for
It's
the
all
longest
perception.
time. Is people think of Jimmy as like a winner dog mentality guy. Jimmy is the same archetype of guy as Embiid. It's just he's not a winner. He's never just because you get to the finals and then play an uncompetitive final series, you're not a winner. That doesn't
I mean,
like
he's been twice. I
he's
would push back a
been
little bit.
he's been, but has he ever like actually like getting there is great, but like the Pistons might get there this year
It's
and
because
they might get
it's
embarrassed
because
by
he exceeded expectations though.
I
That's why.
do
Both
okay.
runs.
I
Both runs.
no, I don't Jimmy's great. Jimmy's great. Trust me. I loved him in Philly. I was pissed when we let him go. That run he had in Miami was fucking unreal when he basically put the team on his back against Boston. Bam was good too, but like Jimmy had like, did he have 250 burgers or was that the Bucks series?
Buck series. But
But
yeah.
either way, he was incredible. But they didn't really have a chance against the Nuggets.
I agree. I'm just
And
saying
they,
that's why the perception between him and Embiid's different because
oh
I
yeah,
mean Embiid's been on teams where they've been the favorite. I can say two times definitively, maybe three,
yeah,
and it's been under an underwhelming exit as compared to Jimmy, where he's had two runs where I mean one's an 8 seed, like one's a
yeah,
Cinderella
yeah.
run, and then the other one is as a 4 seed.
Yeah, I
And
mean, Embiid's never reached the heights that Jimmy has, but I just think they're closer in terms of like not being available. I mean, obviously Embiid's missed like seasons at a time. Like that it's
yeah,
taking it to another extreme. But I think people equate Jimmy closer to like the Bron Steph category. I don't think he's like anywhere near that. Like I don't think he's
I
like
I totally agree. It's just I get why the perception between him and Embiid is
Oh yeah,
different.
yeah,
It
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense
It was
because
probably a bad example,
yeah,
but I guess he's probably closer to Kawhi minus the rings.
yeah, that's a really good comparison.
Like it's the
That is.
same kind of like, but that's the thing is Kawhi had that miracle run in Toronto, and of course he gets incredibly fortuitous along the way with injuries and the shot and KD's fucking Achilles popping, but he was able to take a team that was, I mean it was a good team. Don't get me wrong. It's not like Kyle Lowry wasn't good at the time and Pascal wasn't good. Like that was a good team.
Yeah.
But Kawhi's been able to like touch the mountaintops. Like that's what separates my thing is the perception of Jimmy, I think, is a little bit inflated because of some of like the fake tough guy stuff. And I think he gets a lot of like cachet around the league and like a good rep based on that. When in reality, he's probably closer to like these guys who we would consider like load management, like flaky guys.
Agreed. At this point, I think it was when he was in Miami that was real though.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Heat
Mm.
culture too, like,
Yeah, I think that was like a real tangible thing. But nowadays, yeah, I mean he's so passive last year, and you can blame it on the tailbone injury or whatever. But he gets hurt every playoffs, and then he plays through it and uses that as an excuse to just be a decoy the whole time.
the other thing
Eh,
is he runs into issues everywhere he goes because he butts heads with the front office and the coaching staff. Like
yeah,
it always ends miserably.
it's gonna end miserably here too.
It will. Like it
Yeah,
will.
dude.
I mean whether or not he like continue, I mean he'll probably
Mm.
play till he's 40 because he's Jimmy. But yeah, I mean I don't know. I've always had a weird like I've always felt there was a weird disconnect between who Jimmy Butler is and like what his legacy actually is and how people perceive him. And it's always been interesting to me. But
Still have to be written though. Like
yeah, of
you
course.
got another year or two where disappointment.
You get Giannis, and who the fuck knows? But yeah,
Like the mainstream media and just how like people's overall perception is like a year or two late to react. So I'm telling you, get another year of this, and they go out in the first round, piss poor, and he has the disappointing performance. That's probably going to catch up by then, I
yeah,
would say.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, so Giannis is obviously the big news, but it's kind of interesting how once that story came out, you started getting all these like secondary reports about all these other players who you think might be on the move and the guys we've talked about already with Zion, Ja, and all those guys. But yeah, man, we're starting to get into it, which is going to be fun. And I can't wait till January. Obviously, last year was the beginning of our pod, and we sort of started out in the middle of like the crazy, maybe one of the crazier like NBA off seasons. Obviously, we had the Luca trade.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
we're an episode early on KD. Like our
yeah.
first episode comes out, and then KD's like 3 days later.
Oh yeah, when we called Katie to Houston,
Yeah,
that was cinema.
you did. I think I think I called that he was going to stay.
I
My
mean,
apologies, Matt Ishbia.
all right. So if you at this point right now, obviously we're still really early in the process with all of this Giannis shit. With him staying on the table, I would say neither of us probably think that's the most likely outcome. I'm not sure for you, but from what we've talked about, what would you put your money on in terms of his destination?
In terms of Giannis's
Yeah,
destination,
yeah. What makes the most sense to you?
Atlanta makes the most sense to me, but New York's right there. Atlanta and New York are neck and neck. I don't think any team in the West makes sense to me unless like the Spurs I could see, but besides them, like because I don't think the Thunder do it. I like the Thunder as a spot, honestly, but you start 21
That
and
would
1.
be
It's
that would
just
be
like
end game.
they started too well to make a move. It's just optics at that point. You know what I mean? Like you
But
can't start 21 and 1 and then trade a guy. It's just never gonna
yeah,
happen.
that's
It
true.
never will
And
happen.
that would fuck with their
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, as much as I like that move, I don't see that on the table. And then it's like, why would any other team make that move? Yeah, I still you have a clear top 3 or 4 teams out there. Like definitely three between
Okay.
Denver, Houston, and OKC. So that's your definitive top three. And then it's like, who else is that making that move? The Lakers aren't, unless I'm fucking missing something. The Timberwolves aren't. Like they don't. I don't think they have the just the ability to make that move. I don't think they have the roster or the talent to do that right now. And it's like, who else would make that move? You're gonna still be like a foot behind. So teams in the East make more sense to me because the East is more wide open. It's the most wide open it'll ever be.
Yeah. Yeah. I I think the Knicks is the interesting one. I am looking at the Spurs payroll and Fox and Keldon Johnson. Obviously, Fox has the trade restriction until February, which I so can Fox can be traded at the deadline though, right?
I guess so. He probably has a no trade clause. I mean, the Rich Paul clients, you never know,
They
dude.
can waive that though, right? So, but
Would he waive
Fox,
that? Why the fuck would he waive that to go
yeah,
to
I don't know.
Milwaukee? Makes no sense. Yeah,
Well, I mean, he could be, it could be a three-team trade or something. But the money works out with him and Keldon Johnson exactly to 54 million. And Keldon Johnson, we talked about this in the offseason, probably is the odd man out in that young core. Like, I know he's been better this early part of this season, but when you look at those younger guys, they love Sohan. I mean, as much as, he's on 7 million a year, so it's not really any skin off their back to keep him. Obviously, Castle's going to be part of the equation for them. They just got Carter Bryant. I To me, Keldon's always been the odd man out. And he's not that young anymore either. He's 26 now.
yeah,
And Fox, obviously, we talked about is a little bit of a clunky fit just because he operates mostly in the mid range. Um, so that money works. Obviously, with the trade restriction with Fox, that's going to be weird. But yeah, I mean, so
is your money on the Spurs? Is that what you're saying?
I kind of think that's where if I had to bet, that would be I think where he goes. I just also the Wemby of it all, man. It's like I do think there is this like I don't want to like sound hyperbolic or anything, but there's like I think guys around the league have like a little bit of like a mythical like feeling about Wemby. Like they acknowledge how great he's going to be. And it's weird, like it's very rare for a guy to come into the NBA and already like top players around the league are saying like he's next. Like this is his for the
Yeah,
taking. And I do just think that a lot of, especially the old guard, as they're trying to pad the legacy and add rings and add accolades, I think they'd love to hitch their wagon to Wemby. Like I just think one of these guys, whether or not it's Giannis, I personally think this might end up being the destination, but I just think one of these older guys is gonna hitch their wagon to Wemby and say, take me to another ring. I need to
yeah.
pad."
It's good. A good point. I feel like the teams in the East would be more have a sense of urgency. If this is the offseason, I could definitely get on board with saying like the Spurs would be my top option. I just don't know if they pull the trigger this year,
Yeah, they might not, and it might not.
midseason.
Do you think for sure that this gets done by the winter deadline, or do you think it lingers on?
Kind like if I had to project, kind of, I just don't see the Bucks getting like improving their record if they're
Yeah.
hovering 500 by the trade deadline. I don't.
Well, also he probably doesn't want to waste a year.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. Also, the Spurs are pretty draft capital rich, which is another interesting part of it. Because I'd imagine that the Bucks are gonna want a fucking haul of picks. Like they're gonna have to rebuild this, even if they do get like a big name guy coming in. Like if they do the Hawks trade where they get Trey and KP. First of all, I don't know what value that KP has to a team, especially if they're trying to
In
change their
this case, he's
direction.
definitely just going to be salary filler, I feel like.
Exactly. They just let that expire at the end of the year. And then Trey, I guess you'd have to just build around him then. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. This will be a developing story, and I'm sure other teams will come into the mix. But fuck, man, that was a fun one to break. And it just feels like it's coming, man. Like all this juice is coming,
It,
dude.
it, it really does.
I love this time of year for that.
Yeah. This is a good NBA season. It's already building up to be a good one.
Oh yeah. And OKC is like historically good. That would be the end game. Like I know. Do you think Presti's like cutthroat enough to part with one of those like core guys to get Giannis?
No,
I don't either.
I don't think anybody is at
Well,
21 and 1.
yeah, if you had that team coming off a
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah. I bet them about a week and a half ago. I had parlayed this. So I have them to win 74 games, 74 plus.
Oh, so the record?
Yeah. And then I have Knicks to win the NBA Cup. and I got that
I
before
like
they.
that. I was looking at that.
Yeah,
Their path is easy.
yeah, I got them before they officially made it in, so I got good odds on that. And then Heat to win the East. Just
Oh fuck, dude, the Heat
fucking
are good, man.
yeah,
Norm Powell, dude.
yeah. So I mean, I feel like the pace they play at and Spoelstra's just
Dude, get Tyler Hero out of town.
yeah. Maybe they're the Giannis team. Who knows? If they're the Giannis team, and
No, no,
I,
no, no. Don't even put that in the atmosphere, dude.
I'm just saying, like they're the
Dude,
market too.
dude,
That's a
Spo,
possibility.
Spo with Giannis? No, dude.
Yeah, they don't have the capital, I don't think. But like, it's just
Pat
funny that
Riley? Yeah, but they're the Heat.
yeah,
They're okay, so we
it,
talked about does he care about the glitz and the glamour?
that would be the ultimate he does.
That's always been the
Yeah,
and now maybe fuck, now I'm going back. I started this whole thing saying he loves Milwaukee. He's a family man.
yeah.
And
We
now
have
I'm
no.
thinking about it.
The truth is, we have no fucking
Yeah,
clue.
we
That
don't
could be
fucking
true,
know.
or
He's a mid-30s guy from fucking Greece. Like he might love Miami. Like
yeah.
who
And
knows?
nobody loves Milwaukee, and nobody loves Portland. That's the truth of it. You
No,
just
they
have
love they loved their time there and they were the
yeah,
man.
yeah, and
So
that's where their kids grew up,
yeah,
essentially.
that
I
that's
mean,
where their bread was
if you're a
buttered.
family man, that matters to you. So I get that, but
Yeah,
again, these are all in the air. Who knows right now? I can't wait to see 2 weeks down the line, like if any of these catch legs.
yeah.
I hope Atlanta does, honestly. That would be the coolest one to catch legs because it's like a new team going for it. And I'm ready to see a new iteration of the Hawks without, Trey in the fold.
Yeah. And I think we've seen that they can I mean, we've seen leaps from several of their guys this year, which has been cool. Like Double O, we knew Double O was good, but he's really taken that job and just like we've really seen, especially the way that he shot the ball a little bit better. Like he's expanded his game. They they had no need from KP basically from the jump, which kind of sucked on the one hand because I thought him and Trey would be a fun duo. But seeing that Double O both that he can be their guy down low and that Jalen Johnson can be their primary creator, it's kind of cool. It's like they are going to evolve, and I think Quinn Snyder, as you said, he prioritizes guys that can play on both ends.
Yeah.
And if he can get those two the fuck out of town, they're starting to turn into like a perfect Quinn Snyder team. And Giannis is like the perfect Quinn Snyder player. Like he is the archetype of everything that he wants out of
Yeah.
like
And, and
it's
then they match up like they match up with every team. They match up with OKC, at least being able to defend them. They match up really nice being able to defend OKC. Like really nice.
that that might be the one I want. But yeah,
That's the one I wanted in my head too. But I
for
think there's
some
a
reason I
possibility.
don't see it. I mean, for all the reasons we've talked about, it makes a lot of sense. It's just
When you look into a pick like the New Orleans pick unprotected,
yeah.
the fucking possibilities are
Oh
endless.
my
And
God. Yeah. The other thing is like Atlanta, they're young. Do they just want to hold on to that and just get like one of these guys who are going to be superstars at the top in the next draft? Like that's a really valuable pick.
that is, but I'd
Like that could be
capitalize.
like Cam Boozer.
That could, but that's how you can make this trade happen. Like
Oh yeah,
you can just do that pick, Trey,
dude,
KP, and I think you're kind of home, dude. I
dude,
think you're home.
dude. That Pelicans trade gets worse every day.
Yeah, and
Like, dude,
I
if
don't give
that
a fuck how good Derek Queen is. I really don't. Like
no,
it doesn't matter.
if that ends up being like the Giannis mover, do you know how insane that is? Just because they
Yeah,
wanted Derek Queen over like who went at that pick?
uh,
Asa Newell?
at 21 that they took.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they traded up like 10 spots.
Which like Derek Queen's much better than Asa Newell, but like
It's not fucking matter at all.
no. Like is Derek Queen even gonna be like a five-time All-Star?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's Giannis we're talking about.
The value will never be he's not even
Equivalent.
half the value
Right.
of this pick right now. This
Right.
pick is so much more value. Like I don't know. I can't even put it in the words. It's the most Joe Dumars thing to walk into the building and do that immediately. Like I still feel like that's the plot to get them out of New Orleans.
Yeah, I believe the conspiracy more and
Yeah.
more, like the more we talk about it.
Yeah. That trade sucks, man.
Yeah,
That
the
trade's one
Vegas
of the
the
worst.
Vegas Pelicans are gonna be cinema.
Trade's arguably worse than the Luka trade. Like given that the Mavs got flag.
We'll see how this season ends though.
Yeah.
Say the Lakers. I mean, Lakers are like, what are they, like 17-5 or something?
Yeah. I mean, AR is just really that good, which makes it even
Dude,
more of a clown show that they didn't get him in that deal.
he in the latest they did like an MVP poll and he was like fifth.
Deservedly so. I mean,
Yeah.
he's taking like a maxi leap like 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah,
Right.
Maxi special. Yeah, but the other thing is Maxi was below Isaiah Hartenstein in that poll, so that poll tossed in the trash. Hartenstein's not even like playing games. Like, what are we doing? I
In
don't.
what poll?
It was like an ESPN poll. It was bullshit. But yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like a bullshit poll.
yeah. I'm just bringing up like a ball sack sports poll.
Kind of
Um,
sounds like it.
but another huge just bit of news from around the sports world was obviously Lane Kiffin and the debacle of him leaving college football playoff Ole Miss team in the middle of their run to go to LSU. Obviously, that's a job that's much more coveted just because of, the recruiting soil in Louisiana and just also the parallels to Nick Saban, his mentor, who's, he started his success at LSU and then eventually went to Bama. But just the way that all of this unfolded with people catching him like on a plane to visit Florida and LSU and like taking these interviews in the middle of, and apparently there might be lawsuits because somebody reported today that he was expensing his plane rides to these interviews like on the LSU dime.
It's not the least bit surprised. Dude, this is Lane Kiffin since he was a Raider back in
Oh yeah,
2007.
dude.
Like, no, not a shocker at all. It's safe to say college football kind of has a problem with this,
Oh my God, yeah.
the coaching carousel.
Their
I don't,
calendars.
I think it's way more of an epidemic in college football, but that's still a problem in the NFL too, like conference championship week and these coordinators leaving, like Ben Johnson last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of seen that for the
Yeah,
last 5 years
when
now.
they take these
Yeah.
interviews, right.
But it's much more in college just because the structure of the schedule, and you kind of feel like they have to get a better layout and restrictions and just rules in place where this isn't how it goes down. Because this is worst case scenario for everybody. Yeah, I feel for the guys at Ole Miss. I
Yeah,
mean,
the players, man.
you're playing for a national championship. It seems like they are not like standing by his side in this at all, which
No.
I mean, not surprising either there, but Lane Kiffin kind of made it seem like he wanted to tell his players. So I thought you would get a little bit more support, but like zero support.
No.
And also, I just don't really, I mean, they're both SEC schools. LSU's been in the shit since for the last 6 years. I know that's not a long time since Orgeron was there, but it's like, I know in terms of recruiting, like LSU is more prominent, but I don't see enough of a difference where I leave, where I can build a legacy at a school like Ole Miss, where this is the first time
Yeah.
in
It's their
the
best season in
college
program
football.
history.
Yeah, exactly. I want to give up that legacy to go follow in the footsteps of LSU just because recruiting's easier and it's a quote unquote better destination for a coach. I say it as like a half step up, if that, and that's just in terms of like it's a better job on paper, but then you factor in building your legacy at a school. Like if you even get to the semifinal, like Penn State did last year in your Ole Miss, like you're engraved to that school forever. And you get another couple seasons like that, it doesn't take that long to build yourself into a powerhouse. Like Kiffin gave up that opportunity to kind of take a better job that he perceived in his mind. And if he doesn't do that, then you don't have to. The jobs are going to come up every
Oh
season.
yeah.
Like Clemson might be up next year.
Also, if LSU
Like
hired
you
somebody
can do
else.
this, this is not the time to do that. Like LSU, unless he that was his childhood dream since he was like 17 years
No,
old.
I think the Bama job is.
Exactly. So why are you
That's what he
taking?
wants.
There's going to be another job like this that comes up next year. I guarantee, like a Clemson caliber school will be an open job in the next year or two.
Dude, what if Bama loses the SEC championship and they flare out of the playoff?
Yeah, yeah,
DeBoer's seat isn't like that safe either.
yeah. It's just I don't get taking this LSU job. That's what I'm saying. I think there'd be a better opportunity in a year or two where you wouldn't have to leave the first time that you got a school to the national playoff.
Yeah, it's really the timing, which
Yeah.
we
But
talked about,
it's always been the timing with
right.
them.
Yeah.
Everything. Like the way he left Tennessee high and dry, the USC job, like all that was debacle. You know, you can go he said, she said with him and Al Davis, but I mean, Al Davis cooked him with the projector on. I know it was 2007, but Al Davis did that. And I mean, he obviously had valid
Well,
points. Like this shit has stuck with him
well,
until he's
him
in
and
his
Saban
mid
had a falling
40s.
out too.
Yeah.
They had a power struggle at Bama.
I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about an old man here when this guy
Oh yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like still in his 20s.
Right.
He's 22 when he took that job.
Yeah.
And now you're in your 40s and you still like the whole narrative around you is the exact same. I don't know. It's easy to see this going terribly for LSU again, like Brian Kelly level of shit. Not,
Yeah, yeah. I don't think Brian Kelly's the same caliber of coach as Lane Kiffin.
not at all, but just in terms of like how they underwhelmed and
Oh yeah.
performed according to expectations.
I mean that's the other part of this is I think a lot of people so I listened to Todd McShay on his podcast talk about like what this means and like what this means for Kiffin's, trajectory in terms of becoming like the guy in college football now that Saban's gone and some of the other big names are gone. Kiffin's never gotten over the hump. That's the other part of the what you were just talking about with the Ole Miss part of this is you have a title contending team. Like it's not a foregone conclusion that like Ohio State wins the title, that Georgia wins the title. Ole Miss is a damn good football team. Like their
And you
quarterback,
don't even have to win the championship with this team. You're gonna have another like the state of college football is it's a year to year thing now with the NIL
Mhm.
money, which I feel like evens the playing field. It makes it very sporadic how teams do year to year. So you have an underwhelming like year next year where you go 8-4, 9-3, right?
Yeah.
And not even underwhelming by Ole Miss standards. And then there's going to be another job open next year where you can just up and leave, and it won't be the fallout of this. Like he just doesn't have any foresight.
I,
That's kind of the disappointing thing with him is there's no foresight into this, and it's all attention based. And he, again, if it LSU isn't your dream job since 17, you can't take this job, in my opinion. It's not that big of a step up. It's just not. You're still in
well,
the SEC at the end of the day. Like,
I do think we need to. I mean, the calendar is if he took this job after the playoff run, which by all intents and purposes he did sort of appeal to the Ole Miss AD and tried to stay with the program through the playoff, but they didn't let him. They said, if you've taken the job, fuck off. Like, no, we're going to
yeah,
bring in the interim the same way that Notre Dame brought in Freeman, and you're going to get out of town because you took another job and we don't want you here. And so he did want to stay through it. It's just, as you said, it does just kind of feel like there was a better time to jump ship. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Now let me ask you this: LSU versus Penn State in terms of like a cachet name job, like
Oh, LSU.
by easily though.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
I guess I think they're closer. I think LSU's a better job because they've won more recent, and I just feel that Penn State has legacy, especially with Paterno. The
Yeah. I just think
similar like
LSU.
top five crowd environment. It's just that the recruiting class is so shot right now, but Kiffin could replenish on that, and that Penn State job's going to be fucking open.
I don't think he wanted the Penn State job. I don't think there's a world where he take. Dude, Penn State's gonna hire like the
That's my thing.
Iowa State
Am I
coach.
missing something though with the LSU job? Is this like a top five job in the country?
Yeah, it
Is
might
it?
be. Like it kind of is. I mean, if you
I just
think
don't.
about it,
I don't feel like it is. They had a one-off year with Burrow, and then
well,
when
no, but dating back to like if you date back to like the Saban days, if you date back to like
Les Miles.
yeah, yeah, Les Miles
But I
days,
mean,
but
we have a 15-year history of them being a contender 2 years.
it's
And it's like
also the appeal that LSU has in terms of like the NFL talent they've produced and how you can sell that. I think there's a lot more like the term that McShay said was like sex appeal. And I think that's like a good way to put it is like LSU is the sexier job than Penn State because you can bring in a recruit or a transfer and say Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, if you want to go back, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, Joe Burrow, like you can just go down the list and name stars. And like that goes back, 30 years. Whereas Penn State, it's like it's a great program and it's a steady, stable program that's always elite. But I don't think it has that same appeal to these like high school aged or early in college kids. I don't think it has like LSU is just that their facilities are better. They're in the SEC. They have
Are their
more
facilities
pros.
better? Like,
LSU, have you seen
uh,
their locker rooms and shit?
have you seen Penn State's locker?
Yeah, no, yeah, we're dealing in
I
like
mean, both of these schools.
Champagne. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Penn State has the biggest home crowd in the country.
No, no,
Like,
no, crowd. No, no, no. I'm not saying
I
Penn
just don't get
State's.
where the perception between like LSU has been a good team 2 years out of the last 15 years.
No, yeah,
20,
success wise.
2011, and they get wiped by Alabama in the national championship with Tyrann Mathieu, and then 2019. And besides that, they haven't even been in the playoff any other year. It's just, I think the perception is not that I don't disagree with you that to the mainstream media, again, that LSU is a better job. I just don't see the difference between them and Penn State that much. Penn State
No,
has just as many moments in the last, not with the national championship, LSU obviously above them, but in terms of how many times they've been in the spotlight, Penn State has two, just like LSU has two. Penn State won the Rose Bowl in 2016, and Penn State had their time where they made the semifinal last year and very well should have made the championship. And
yeah, no.
I don't get how like
I don't
they're
think it's a success thing. I think it's like the sleeping giant thing. It's like the reason why in other sports, for example, like the Cowboys will always get big names who are interested in coming there, and why the Lakers are always in every trade talk and every big free agent talk, why the Heat are always in contention for everybody. It's just these big like
no, I get it. 'Cause, I mean, Lane Kiffin's LSU sells the young kids more that are 18 and under. I get that. And that's honestly what he cares about. He cares about fucking Gen Z's opinion. But it doesn't like Penn State, I feel like it's maybe not like wide receiver or name brand like guys who get endorsement deals, but they probably haven't produced just as much NFL talent as LSU has. I mean, Penn State's got more defensive edges that are prominent than
recently,
LSU
yeah.
does. They have more safeties. They have Saquon. I mean, Saquon's a hell of a star. I mean, LSU, Jaden Daniels, the one quarterback that they've like ever produced. That was,
Burrow.
yeah. All right, take it back. But Burrow and Daniels.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not like Penn State doesn't have quarterback cachet, but they have Godwin, they have receivers, and I promise you, I feel like they have more defensive talent, at least in the secondary that LSU has had.
Yeah. I mean, I do
And I'm
think
not
all
even a Penn State truther at all.
no,
I don't
I
like
know.
them. I just
Yeah, yeah.
I disagree with the sentiment that these jobs are that different. I do.
I also do think that Lane Kiffin is born and bred as an SEC kind of guy. Like he cares more about more of like the legacy jobs and like dude, he's a Saban disciple. Like he cares about like your legacy at the biggest programs. And unfortunately, Penn State, although they're incredibly successful in like the last, I don't know, especially recently, they're very, very successful thanks to James Franklin, who they just kicked out the door.
Well, I mean, they were
But
successful and they're more prominent in like the 70s and or 80s and
yeah, they
90s
had,
with Paterno.
yeah, but they didn't have, even with Paterno, their top, their highest heights were great, but it's not the extended success that the LSU program had, where like LSU, LSU's, I mean, well, first of all, the NFL products like historically at LSU, I mean, they have a ton, and I don't know, I do think Penn State, especially maybe because of where it is and like some of the history of the program gets a bad rep. I think Penn State should be bigger. Like I don't even think Penn State gets the credit that like in their conference that Ohio State and Michigan get. And obviously Ohio State and Michigan are more storied programs. But like they're always little brother.
Yeah.
Like they've always been that.
But you can say the same about LSU. LSU's little brother, the Georgia,
Right.
Bama, and you can argue Texas too. Like that's a, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
not lately.
And Oklahoma, like just historically. Or maybe I'm just late to adapt because I feel like Oklahoma is a very prominent program up
It
until
is.
like
No,
2010.
Oklahoma's
And they've been kind of in the same deal as LSU where they've been a little bit underwhelming according to expectations for the past 15 years. And Texas has finally turned that leaf in the last 3 years, but they're in the same boat too.
Yeah, but so Florida's a good example. So Lane Kiffin also was interested in the Florida job. But he wasn't interested in the Penn State job. But what the fuck has Florida done lately? Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying is like these programs have they just get like bigger name coaches are just interested in these jobs. Whether or not they should be is a different discussion.
Yeah.
And like if he flames out, it'll be like,
I guess that's my point. I
yeah,
don't agree with the
no,
national opinion on that.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I just I do think that sometimes there are jobs that like Lane Kiffin at Penn State would do a great job. And he would be great for recruiting, and he might be able to take him to heights that Franklin couldn't. Because frankly, James Franklin just couldn't win big games. Like we all know that.
Yeah.
That's why he's not there anymore. So I mean, maybe he would have been a great fit there, but for some reason, especially Lane Kiffin, who is a self-absorbed guy, I'll stop there before I start getting jiggy.
I mean, no,
But
he's a douche. Like
yeah, like
it's fine to say.
he gives a
And I
shit
think he has
about like
he's a personality that matches SEC football better. I get it. It's just
exactly.
I don't get why that's just a South thing. Like why are we like in 2025 and it's just like the South and football is different. We've had plenty of evidence in the past 5 years to show that teams in the Big Ten are winning
I
at
mean,
the end of
yeah,
the day.
like think about Ryan Day at Ohio State. Like he's in the middle of like, dude, his resume is much better than Lane Kiffin.
I say Notre Dame job was open. It's Lane Kiffin considering that compared to the else. Like
Notre
where do you
Dame?
rank the?
Oh,
Yeah,
say like Freeman.
I'm
Yeah,
just trying to think
okay.
like what jobs rank there compared to.
Notre Dame's a
Uh,
big job,
I
but
agree. I think it's bigger than Penn State. Is that like a
Notre
top
Dame,
five job in the country though?
no, because the one thing about Notre Dame is it's a Catholic school and it's not in a conference. So Notre Dame has more like weird nuances to it. First of all, it's tough because they don't play conference championship games. But well, that maybe that's a discussion for another time. They're still somehow in the playoff field right now,
Yeah,
even
I mean,
though
because the way the schedule's
yeah, they play
structured
like
nowadays, I mean, they play Miami and A&M week 1 and 2.
lost
Yeah,
both.
yeah. You have enough games on their schedule where they can at least play. I get it though. I just disagree with the whole notion
Yeah, I
of
mean, maybe that's a bigger discussion is like why are the legacy jobs still the legacy jobs, I guess. And
yeah,
the other part of this that we do have to discuss is that LSU committed, I think it was $25 million a year to Kiffin to go out and get players. Like
yeah,
that's a substantial like to say that up front, like we're gonna back you. Like we're gonna give you the money to go out and get transfers that you can woo these high school recruits. Like basically we're giving you the keys and we're giving you all the frills. Like we're giving you a Lamborghini. And I mean, Lane Kiffin's Lane Kiffin, and he loves that shit. And I just honestly, I think that's what it comes down to is
yeah.
he
They
wants
better, they
he
better make the
wants.
playoffs next year because
Oh
I'm telling.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, the media
they,
storm if he flames out there will be cinema.
not even Flames out just has an underwhelming first year. Like you're fighting an uphill battle just the whole way this is set up. I don't agree with it from him. Just in terms, I would stay at Ole Miss if I'm him and wait out to see the next big job that comes up.
The other
Because
thing is,
even if you're something, even
yeah,
if you're an SEC guy, there's gonna be another job that comes up, and
yeah. I mean, I honestly I still think the thing that will be interesting is I think even with him going to LSU, I wouldn't rule him out from taking the Bama job in like 2 years.
you really are that out on DeBoer. I don't not that out on DeBoer at all.
No, I'm not out on DeBoer. I think that Alabama fans, I mean, the discourse around DeBoer is they, I'm not sure that they believe that he's the guy for them.
I think that talk's slowed down though. I mean, they
Well, I mean,
lost.
they've been a lot better, but if they lose to Georgia, you're going to see people calling for DeBoer's head.
They're still in the playoff at the end. It's still gonna make the playoff. It's all
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah. But I
Uh,
mean, it's just if you lose to Georgia in the SEC championship, which does mean a lot to like people, like I think SEC championship means the most out of like all the conference championships. Like I just think they weight it more. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't see Kiffin. I don't think this is his last stop. Like I think he's using this as a launching pad too. Like I don't think this is his dream job, LSU.
All right, that's a fair point, and I don't completely blame him then, but you can still get a launching pad job in a
I mean,
month or
Ole
two.
Miss is a launching pad job.
Yeah.
If he's that's the, I think the point you made in the beginning is probably the one that sticks with me is that the fact that he could just stay at Ole Miss and continue to build this program, and that just builds his case even more for the bigger job he wants, whatever that ends up being. Like, if that Bama, I like DeBoer too. Like, I think Bama should stick with DeBoer. But say that job does open up, or some other big job opens up, he could eventually take that and just continue building and continue adding to his accolades aren't anything special right now. Like he has
Yeah.
as a head coach.
Which is why if you flame out here, you're
Also,
you're pigeonholing yourself to lesser jobs for the rest of your career at that point. Like if he flames out at LSU, then he'll take a job at like a team that's comparable to an Ole Miss and maybe like a step down, like in the SEC where
he goes like the FAU route again or the FIU. Where is he at?
nah, you go like the fucking I know A&M's good this year, but they're not historically good either. You go like the A&M route or something.
Oh, he goes Jimbo Fisher style.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Or like at Florida State. Like I don't know. There's a lot riding on this, so it's a
Yeah.
big pressure move. So in that case, you can kind of give him some respect because he's saying fuck it, like I don't give a shit, and I believe in myself, and if he does end up having success here, then it'll be around for a while. But
I think
I don't agree. I value legacy over a name brand job personally, but
yeah.
I'm not in his position, so maybe I would act differently if I was. Just from an outsider, that's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean, also, so on the Saban and also Pete Carroll was also his mentor. Apparently, he went to them and asked them, like, basically, should I take this LSU job? And they both said yes. Like, they both encouraged him to take the LSU job, which for Saban makes a ton of sense to me because he went to LSU himself and won a
And Pete
title
Carroll
there.
makes more sense for me. Pete Carroll jumped ship when he,
Well, yeah, and maybe
yeah,
that's if well, yeah.
yeah,
But so I mean, also he had his mentors in his ear telling him to go. You get the frills, you get the money behind you, you get a fertile high school recruiting ground. I think there's factors that make it make sense to me. It's just it all comes back to the timing and like the optics. The optics are just so bad, and it's so Lane Kiffin
yeah.
at the end of the day.
The more and more we talk about this, I kind of see his side now because I mean, optics, it's worse than we've seen before, but he's really acting no different than other coaches have in his position before, which is, I mean, that's a great point. It, I just disagree with like the whole
Yeah,
way of
you wouldn't
operating,
do
but
it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I wouldn't either, but I
yeah,
mean, it's easy for us to say we're not
yeah,
making
yeah.
fucking all these millions. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a ton of pressure on LSU. And that LSU Ole Miss game next year, if they do play in the regular season, ooh, that'll be cinema.
Yeah, that will be
I'll be
something.
tuning into that. Also, if this interim coach like goes on a run in the playoff, that would be like, what's the narrative then? Like if they just don't skip a beat?
That I haven't even thought about that. I kind of feel like they're destined to fail. It feels like Florida State missing the national championship kind of
Hmm.
feel to it. Maybe not that bad, but
Yeah. I
or
mean,
Brian Kelly leaving Cincinnati back in like 2009
yeah.
and them just getting. I think they got shit horsed, but maybe they won. I'm trying to think.
But I mean, yeah, we'll see. But I'm rooting for Ole Miss in the playoff now. Like that's my squad in the playoff. Also, the coach was an internal hire, the interim. So there's a little bit of continuity. Obviously, you're not going to have like the guy, which is it's never going to be the same. But so we'll continue to follow that and see how all of that sort of unfolds. Also, if the interim has like if they have a shocking display, even if they do have like a win or two in the playoff, the Ole Miss job's open now. Like, like
Yeah. I don't think it's a
that's a
bad job at
huge
all.
job. Yeah. The coaching carousel is crazy, man. But anyways, let's go to the NFL. Obviously, we had Thanksgiving games last week, Black Friday. we're gonna spare you the nitty-gritty details of the games and just sort of go straight to some of the bigger picture stuff, which let's start with um the Bengals taking down the Ravens and now looking at the bigger picture of the AFC North with now you have the Ravens still in a basically in a tie with the Steelers, but they have the lead on the tiebreaker at 6-6. Then you have the Steelers at 6-6, and you have the Bengals at 4-8. And the Bengals have a really tough schedule, but they get another shot at both the Ravens and or no, did they play the Steelers twice already?
Yeah.
So
No,
they have
they
another
split. They split.
yeah, right. Yeah, right. They lost the one. They have another shot at the Ravens and but they do have to play the Bills this week. And then they have a couple cupcakes to end out the season with Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns. Do you think there's any chance the Bengals steal this division?
Yes. It's gonna all around on this week. I think they put themselves in too much of a hole if they lose this week, but they're so in it if they win this week. Just
Dude.
based on how bad the Ravens look, man.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
Ravens to me
they got
look
blown
terrible.
out.
Lamar does not look like himself, and
Nah.
I don't know if that's something that you can just figure out mid-season after you've been playing the last 5 weeks. But he looked good against Miami when he came back, and then every game since has been underwhelming. And it was kind of the same story as the game that Monday night game against Detroit, where he's running around in the pocket and not
Yeah.
looking to run and just getting sacked. Like he'll scramble but not assert himself to run, and I mean, it's the whole difference with their offensive series. I mean, in the games that they both played, Herbert has more rushing yards than him. They lost the whole
Dimension.
dimension of their offense.
Yep.
Perfect word for that.
I agree.
Eh,
No, I completely agree. They looked lifeless against the Bengals. Like I picked the Bengals in my picks for last week, but I didn't really anticipate it being that one-sided in Baltimore. Like
It's
that was
the turnovers did
yeah,
the Ravens in.
that was a
That
jaw-dropping bad performance. Like that can't happen, especially when you completely shift the momentum. Like they had the division locked up with Rodgers playing basically on one arm and one leg, and the Steelers looking terrible, and the Bengals throwing away all those games with Flacco where they lose the Jets game, they lose the Bears game, like all those games that they could have won. All of a sudden, now they're just right back in the thick of it with Joe Burrow, who we know has done something like this before and willed his team at the end of a season.
Yeah, it did it last year. He just came
Right.
up short.
Like it's
Um,
just
and then he came up short because they got into such a hole again. But that's why they blew so many opportunities to just have one more win. There's so many games for the Bengals where if they're 5-7 right now, I feel so much
oh
better about their
yeah.
chance. But it's not like the Bills are a juggernaut either.
No, that's a very winnable game. It's in
Yeah.
Buffalo, which makes it tougher, but that's a very winnable game. I would not that's gonna be a great game, I think.
And I'm discarding the Steelers from this because it feels like
Yeah,
everything.
they're done.
I
They're
think they're
so
up in
done.
flames. Like I don't think they even get
They're
to 8 wins at this point. I think there's
no, they're so
maybe one
done.
more win in their bag. It feels like Tomlin like might actually get fired. Like the fan base is fighting back on that. That is a real thing. So
Yeah.
between them and the Ravens, I mean the Ravens have the Patriots still. I know that is one marquee game on their schedule that they still have. Do they have another tough guy? They have the Steelers twice, and then what are their other games? Are they cupcake or
They have Steelers, Bengals, Pats, Packers, Steelers.
yeah?
So
So
Steelers twice, Bengals, and then a couple really tough games.
yeah, Pats and Packers back to back.
Yeah, dude, this could get muddy.
Yeah, and that's
Wait,
what
wait. All right, so let's play this out. So Steelers, Ravens at home. Should we say that the Ravens sweep the Steelers? Should we just assume that? Or should we
uh,
say they split?
I would say split. But let's assume they sweep. Then we're gonna
Yeah, just for the sake of
yeah.
let's say they split. Then they go to Cincinnati.
Yeah, no, it's gonna get. I mean, I would have. They would
I'd
need to
have the
get.
Bengals by 20 points in that.
Yeah.
Like they just got blown out at home.
I just don't. It's tough to say that you'll get the same version of
Right.
Cincinnati's defense. You never know week to week with
Yeah.
Cincinnati
The pass
defense.
rush did look good, but I
Yeah.
also think that the Ravens offensive line's not as good as it was. But then you go Pats, who that'll be at home and the Pats are missing, Will Anderson, but or not Will Anderson, Will Campbell, and then two Lambeau, and then at Acrisure, Heinz Field, whatever the fuck you want to call it, to end the season. I mean, I
I
could I
I
could
just
see them go 2-3 there.
yeah, I could too. I think the Bengals they have two missions that they need to. I feel like they need to win out and get the 9 wins.
They 100% do. Because even if the Ravens go 2-3, this is what I'm saying is like that's basically worst case scenario if they go 2-3. Because,
Yeah.
the Bengals game, even though we saw the blowout, and I'm saying that I assume it'll be a blowout again in Cincy, these divisional games sometimes you don't like. The Packers won in Soldier Field 2 seasons ago, or even last season, won at Soldier Field and then lost at Lambeau. Like this shit just happens. Like it doesn't make sense. It just happens. Even if they go 2-3, worst case scenario, they're what? That would put them at
8-9.
8-9. That
Yeah.
would only give the Bengals one more loss. Like they have to play basically perfect football the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Maybe one game, like they might be able to drop this Bills game, but even that makes it tough because then you'd have to have the
I
tiebreaker.
mean, yeah, but they if they beat the Ravens,
Ravens,
like
they
they
would.
can get it done at 8-9. Then you just it's too many facts. The Steelers' schedule sucks down this stretch too, and I know that.
I wouldn't put it past them to lose against bad teams though. Like
Yeah,
the Steelers, I mean, we got the fire Tomlin chance out. Like they're so done to me. Like they're so done. I even don't like that Dolphins game. Maybe we talk about the Dolphins too, by the way. But
it's probably going to lose to the Jets this week.
they
I don't know if that really
at New
happened.
York with Tyrod playing pretty well,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised
and
at all.
New York in prime position to kill their top five
Right,
draft
right, which
capital.
they always
It's the
do.
most Jets thing to do. And I'm taking the Jets this week, by the way, when we get to that game. But
Let's go.
this division's winnable at 8-9. The Bengals have to beat the Bills this week, and they have to beat the Ravens. And if they do that, then I think they can sneak past the 8-9. But they need to win this week. They can't drop this game and be at 4-9 and think
Yeah,
they're
no.
because then you just need too many things to go right and too many things to go wrong at the same time.
Yeah, it's massive.
You
It
got
is
you
so
gotta at least
tough.
build up the momentum because if you're 4-9, like
It
there's not even
is.
gonna be any steam behind the
Yeah.
Bengals winning this division anymore after that.
Dude, that Jets loss might end up being so, so brutal.
And the Pats lost. I mean, there's so many games and
The Bears, yeah. Yeah, so I mean that division's gonna be interesting. It's kind of just a shit show. Like the funniest
completely.
thing is the Bengals are probably would you say they're the best team in the division right now? I mean, after what we just saw.
I have a tough time. I have a tough time saying that because their defense is so inconsistent.
Yeah. So is the
That's
Ravens.
true, but I trust it. There's
Yeah.
more
There's
talent
more,
there.
right. There's
There's more
more
for me
to
to
go
trust.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think what we both agree on, which we kind of expected to begin the year, is that the Steelers are a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
And they're looking on track to go below 9-8, which
Finally. I hope they lose out.
I mean, Tomlin's got to be gone, right? After this, if it goes the way we think.
Yeah, if they lose out, yes.
Well, not even if they don't lose out. Like, say they're, I guess. All right, say they win one,
There's enough. Yes, I think he's
seven
out.
and 10.
Yeah, there's enough
He's
fan
gone.
momentum behind it for me to be like,
Dude, the
and
worst,
they're just at a crossroads in terms of like how old their team is. So
the
it's
worst possible outcome of this is the Steelers beat the Dolphins, the Browns, and win one of the Ravens games, and they're 9-8, and they win the AFC North.
do they have the tiebreaker over the Bengals automatically if they're both 9-8?
Over the Bengals, yeah. No, well, because they split, right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
I
that
don't know.
comes
I
down
don't know. It would be what? Division record or
So
conference record?
do the Steelers still play the Browns? It's going to be
Yes.
division record
Yeah.
first, and
Browns.
then conference record, I think.
Right.
So say the Steelers beat the Browns,
Oh my God, this is gonna get so messy, isn't it?
and they split the Ravens, so they'd be 4-2 in division. And how many times do the Bengals play the Browns? Still one more time?
Did they play them? Did they play
Yeah,
them again?
the Bengals would have to play the Browns the last week, right?
Yes. Yeah, they do at home.
Yeah. So if the Bengals sweep the Bengals already, yeah, the Bengals played the Browns week 1, right?
Yeah, they beat them.
All right, yeah. So if the Bengals sweep the Ravens and sweep the Browns, then they'll be 5-1. They'll be ahead of the Steelers based off division record.
That's if they
Be
went out. Yeah.
It'd be 5, but if the Steelers beat the Ravens both games and they finish 9-8 and they're both five
I
and
don't
one,
see that. Do you see that happening?
not at all. I'm just saying if that would happen, then
Yeah.
it would come down to conference record. But it's more likely that the Bengals have the tiebreaker over both these teams.
Well, I mean, it's more likely that the Steelers just go 9-8 and the Bengals lose like one game.
Agreed. I'm saying if they finish
Yeah,
tied,
yeah, yeah.
either of
Right,
these teams,
right,
the
right,
Bengals are in a position where they would have the tiebreaker over both these teams. And
right. Yeah, yeah. If there's a tie
yeah,
and they're involved, they're gonna have the tiebreaker
yeah.
most likely. Yeah. So I mean, that'll be a fun one to watch. Another division that just got really fun is the AFC South, where the Colts are in the midst of a free fall at the moment. I didn't think they were bad necessarily. They weren't like terrible against the Texans in the same way that I think they were terrible in some of their other games. Um, but man, to lose three out of your last four when you started what 8-2,
8-1.
8-1,
Yeah, what? No, it's 7-1. 7-1.
7-1, and now they're sitting at 8-4. The
Yeah.
Jags are now in first place in the AFC South, which is insane to me considering what the team that they look like some weeks. The fact that they're in the driver's seat to win that division is crazy. The Texans are playing their best football of the season. CJ Stroud's back.
They're back. I'm fully in on them.
Oh yeah, I 100% think they're winning that division.
Even if they lose this week.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but
You think
uh
that
at Arrowhead, I don't know. Yeah,
the
it'll be
Sunday
tough.
night football?
That's gonna be a sick game.
Yeah, this is gonna be a sick game.
I
I'm
think they're
still
better than the Chiefs. Their
I
defense, I think, enough is
yeah. The Chiefs have all their big games coming down the stretch at home, but they feel like an accident waiting to happen this year. I'm fully in on the Texans. This is the best defense in football.
they're sick, dude. Will Anderson and Neil Hunter up front alone, and then you have Lassiter.
Al
Oh, dude.
Shahir,
Al-Shair.
yeah,
What's his face?
Stingley,
Stingley. Dude, they're so good. They're so like defenses are so rare. Like you can have a great defense that's not like fun to watch.
yeah.
This
This
team like
defense is fun to watch,
flies
and
around.
they're elite at every single level.
Right, right, right. Yeah, they're fun. And the offense is starting to be better. I think what happened is the offensive line still sucks, but they're playing with better timing, I think.
Yeah,
Like you
there's
see,
more cohesion.
yeah,
Like, I mean, you can just see like Stroud doesn't look like he's fighting for his life every fucking play like the
right.
first three games. And
Like
then
it,
Higgins is coming on like they're
yeah,
as a number two.
yeah,
And that matters big time. And Nico seems like he's back to form. And they have enough of a semblance of a running game. It's just there that
yeah.
it's passable. It's not the worst.
No, no, it is it's enough. Like
Yeah.
even Chubb gives them like a little bit of like grittiness down in the red zone. And
Woody Marks is like the perfect outlet
yeah,
for if you're under pressure, dump it down.
receiving back,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, and Dalton Schultz has been a factor. Like, I feel like this offense is coming together at the right time. And if they get in the dance, man, I like their odds.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do too. The one thing is they do just have to muddy up games so much that
Feels
like
like a foregone conclusion, though. It's not like something
yeah, yeah.
I doubt
It's
them to
not it's
do.
not like yeah, it's not like difficult for them to do.
Yeah,
Like they're just gonna get a pass rush in every game
yeah.
they're in. Yeah, the other thing is the Jags schedule is really tough down the stretch. So the Jags have the
Uh,
Colts
yeah,
twice,
I
the
discount.
Broncos.
I disregard them just because I feel like that's
I feel like
still
we can't though.
it's
Like
in their DNA to be an accident waiting to happen.
I know, but I feel like you can't rule them out yet just because like it seems like in spite of everything, they are like the weird constant in this division. Like everyone else has gone like this and they've sort of like stayed here. Like never
No, they haven't.
they
They're
had
on a three-game
highs,
win streak right now, coming off a game where they
but
blew a
nobody
19-point lead to Davis Mills. They're
but
just,
nobody's high on them is what I'm saying. Even though they're on the win streak, nobody's
but
like,
they're
"Oh, I
still
love
they're
these
still
guys."
like a high and low team.
But what I'm saying is it's not like
Come on, man, that's bull. You know
dude,
that's
the Colts
bullshit.
were 7-1 and now they're 8-4. Like
But they hit a tough stretch of their schedule.
yeah.
Like you wouldn't say they blew the Chiefs game, but it's not like they imploded. It's just the Chiefs. They didn't get enough first downs. And
Yeah, no.
Jones has a fibula injury,
Well,
and then I didn't
they
think Jones
imploded a
played
little
bad.
bit. They imploded a
Yeah.
little bit. They were up 20-9 and got a turnover in the fourth quarter, and they lost.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think losing the Chiefs at Arrowhead even this season's a bad loss.
No, no, no. It's more the way they did it, and also the Steelers' loss was terrible. Like that
Yeah,
that can't happen. That loss was the worst of
I
the
don't know.
worst.
I'm not an optimist on the Jags, and also the Jags got to prove it
Oh,
to me.
I'm not an optimist. All I'm saying is I can't rule them out just because of how weird this division has been. I just would feel naive to rule them out.
That's fair. Yeah.
especially with how their defense. I guess the one thing I will say about when we're talking about like the fluctuation of these teams, the Jags defense is like maybe the biggest variable. Like they looked like the best defense of all time in the beginning of the season. Then Devin Lloyd gets hurt for a bit. They come way back down to earth. He comes back. They start getting a little bit better. The same way that Rokon helped out the Ravens. And the last few weeks they've played terrible teams, but the defense is starting to look better again. And Lawrence has been so helter-skelter, but like he's kind of doing enough to
Yeah.
to win them games.
The Jacoby Myers addition matters and Brenton Strange
Yeah.
being back matters. But
Oh, I love
I
Strange.
feel like Parker Washington matters to them too, and he's hurt.
Yeah, he is hurt. But yeah, I think this Colts Jags game this weekend will be huge.
Is that
Uh,
Jacksonville or
in
Indy?
Jacksonville.
All right.
They play both. Both of those games will be in the next like 4 weeks. But yeah, it's going to be fun down the stretch in that division. I personally, I just think the Texans are by far the best team, but I just can't rule anyone out right now, except maybe the Colts. I honestly, I'm getting to the point with them where it feels inevitable, and it even did coming into this week. Like it felt it. You could just kind of see the wheels falling off.
I wish Richardson was alive still. Be so awesome.
You know what's funny? I actually think that like their offense has become so much more predictable because Jones is a little bit banged up and he can't run.
Yeah,
Like Richardson actually like might help the offense right now.
yeah, but who knows what's going on? Like, what's the orbital injury timeline?
Who the fuck knows, man? Bring Minshew back, dude. And then let's go to the fucking Panthers beat the Rams, dude. Like what are the Panthers, man?
The home Panthers.
Home Panthers, baby. But what are they? I'm so confused. They are the most perplexing team in the NFL. I can't get a read on them week to week.
Me neither, but I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's fun. You need like just a wild card.
They play they play the Bucks well too.
Yeah, they
Just
beat dude, think about their wins right now. Like let's just go through. Their wins are they swept the Falcons. They
beat
and
the
that
Packers,
and the 30-0 Falcons win was really impressive. They beat the Packers at Lambeau. Uh they
beat the Rams last
they beat
week.
the Rams this week and they muck the thing is they probably should have won that Niners game. Like the way that Purdy
Uh,
played in that first half, he threw 3 picks in the first half. And they
yeah,
just, they just didn't capitalize on it.
yeah. Bryce, it's tough to see. Like Bryce just has to be more consistent week to week.
He was really good in this Rams game though.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. I mean, they got an identity running the football.
Yeah, Chuba
Yeah,
looked really good in this one.
yeah. I was watching it. You know, I forget what podcast it was, but they were talking about just the variance from game to game, just not even with the Panthers specifically, but all around the league because it's all coming down to fourth downs at like the
Oh
40
yeah.
yard line, and every team's going for it. So that's kind of why you
The
see
Texans
the
almost blew
yeah
that game with one
yeah
of those.
the parity around the league so much greater because week to week these games are won on those plays and just random turnovers as well in the red zone.
Yeah, like Jordan Love throwing a pick
Yeah,
against the Browns.
yeah, which is still why I kind of like the Rams the most in the NFC because I trust their formula in the red zone the most.
Yeah. I mean,
And
even in
I
this
mean,
one, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, their one weakness got exposed this game, and that's cornerback, and that's because the Panthers have four guys who are 6'4" and above out there, or not six
Yeah.
four, but like 6'2" and above.
Yeah.
They're big bodies at receiver all
And
across
Tommy
the board.
Tremble too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and Ted, oh dude, Ted's so good. I
but
love him, dude.
the Panthers, if they win this division, they be them at home for a playoff game. Wild card is a sneaky game. Like
The Bucks are not looking
I don't
great.
I don't trust them at all. But they got Mike coming back, and Godwin is kind of
Goblin looked great this week.
yeah
He did have that drop on the one in the back of the end zone, but
yeah.
aside from that, he
If you
looked
get him
like
back,
he looks right.
yeah. And if Evans looks half decent, then they're kind of all the way back weapons wise.
Yeah,
I
Buka.
mean McMillan's practicing too.
Like Buka has slowed up a bit. Like he isn't
Yeah,
on the same like torrid pace he was on at the beginning of the year, but
yeah,
yeah, I mean he's still fucking really good.
yeah. I mean, you get Bucky back. They gotta like they're getting all their weapons back at the right time. So I kind of want to pump the brakes a little bit, but the Panthers do play them well, just like always,
Yeah.
at least in the Bryce era. So
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I do think maybe this could be a springboard for the Panthers, but I kind of I kind of thought that after the Packers game, and then they went and lost to the Saints at home. So I don't really know what to
Yeah.
expect anymore from them. But but yeah, I just think, and maybe this is the point you just said, where you just look at every division in the NFL, and aside from, is there even one division where you can just like open and close case say like it's over?
Um,
Maybe
not
the
the
Pats,
not in the
just
NFC.
because how
Yeah,
easy
but
their
yeah,
schedule is,
yeah. You can say the Pats, and
and they only
then
have to play the Bills one more time.
yeah. I mean, you can damn near say the
Broncos.
AFC. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. AFC West is over at this point.
Speaking of which, they fucking dodged a bullet. Dude, they got good Mariota. Talk about
Yeah,
variance. Mariota
yeah.
week to week, dude. You might have like some weeks I'm damn near like he might be better than Jay Daniels. Like, and then the
He
next
was
week,
down. That game was the best
dude,
game of the
he was,
week.
oh my God, it was incredible.
Yeah,
And normally I would be like, oh, here the Broncos are playing, down to their competition, like a weakened, like injury riddled Commanders team. Dude, the Commanders were good in that game.
yeah.
Like they were good. They were get well, also on that pick that Knicks threw late, which was a bad pick. Like they were getting after him a little bit, which that defense isn't. That's not what they're known for. Like they don't really get after the quarterback after all the guys they've let go. But yeah, I mean Mariota was great. Ertz looked like prime Ertz. You had Terry going. Debo had a big catch down the stretch. Like the run game was even interesting with like Rodriguez and McNichols.
Yeah, I like them having McLaurin back. I feel like is
Yeah.
huge for that offense because I mean, they've been running out Chris Moore for like half the year, and
Yeah.
I mean, Traylon doesn't look bad. I know like
Dude, that catch was
yeah,
insane, bro.
not just the catch, but he showed more here before that catch than he did in Tennessee at all. So
Yeah, I mean, he showed nothing in
yeah,
Tennessee. It's also just the circumstances of how he went to
yeah.
Tennessee. But the Commanders are the team I would say that also Jaden Daniels, but I think he was a full participant in practice today, so he might play this week. But they're a team that I could see being like this. They could play spoiler. Like they play the Cowboys
And
one
they
more
played the Eagles
time,
fucking
and they
twice
play
though.
the Eagles twice. Also, the Eagles always struggle with the fucking Commanders.
Yeah, and also nobody wins the NFC East twice in a row, which is
Right.
making me nervous.
Well,
Cowboys down eight,
yeah,
fourth quarter starting right now.
27-19. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also hilarious that we're sports podcasts who talk about the NFL a ton and we're just missing like a huge game.
Well, we got to get our reps in when we can.
We gotta get our ball in, dude.
Yeah, it's
But
stuff out here.
but that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Obviously, I was trying to avoid it as long as I could, but the Eagles just on Black Friday, it's more so the manner in which they lost that game where you sort of it's sort of they gave them their own medicine. Like they won the trenches. They just ran the ball down the bird's throat.
That's
Like
what's I didn't expect them to get
no,
258 on them at
two
all.
two 100 plus yard rushers. The Bears
Yeah.
haven't done that since fucking Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. And it was just it wasn't even only the running game either. It was when they dumped it off to Monangai and Swift, they were getting 15-yard catch and runs too out of the backfield. Like it they just and now with Jalen Carter with the procedure on his shoulder, like he's gonna miss the Chargers game and potentially more. I that's worrying. To me, the offense was what everybody was talking about and even will continue to talk about after this game, but that's the thing that was that was the banker. Like that was what you counted on was that defense being able to, be elite. And you're starting to see cracks in it, especially up front, which nobody thought would be an issue.
Yeah. So the offense is the issue, bar none. I mean,
Oh
because
yeah.
you see what the Bears did to the Eagles, and it's like, why is the Eagles' philosophy of not running motion and not going under center? Where who does that stem from?
Them
Like
not running motion. Well, this is the thing
no,
that
and
we
not going under center too, because you had a game against the Vikings where that proved going under center worked.
yeah.
And the Bears just proved to you, as countless other teams around the league have proven, that the use of motion coincides with success of offense. It just
Well,
does, especially going under center.
teams aren't worried about Jalen running. That's the other
I,
thing.
yeah, but
Because he's not running.
yeah, but you're also coming out in shotgun every play and running
Yeah.
the most static formations of all time. Like you're not creating any confusion for the defense, which is, I mean, you can argue that's more than 50% of the success or the reason for the success of the Bears running game. It's confusion with the motion,
Yeah.
and they're basically hiding looks. It's like a pitcher in baseball with the fastball and slider. They're
Yeah, where he
they're
hides the
showing you
ball.
one.
Yeah.
No, it's like the overlay. Like they're tunneling. They're
Oh,
tunneling
yeah, yeah.
pitches. That's basically what Ben Johnson's play calling is. And the amount of confusion that they get with their run game is insane. It's not just the Eagles they did that to. They've done that to other
No, they're one
teams.
of the best running attacks
Yeah.
in the NFL.
But like the Eagles don't even try to be creative with the run game. It's inside zone every single time. It's and I don't think that's just like it's Caleb is as much as a threat to run right now as Hurts is. Is that a fair assessment?
I think he's more. Hurts is not a threat at all.
Yeah, that's but they're in the same category
Yeah, yeah,
because
he's not. Yeah, he's not
yeah,
like a Lamar Jackson.
yeah, which is that comes down to play calling at that point and scheming shit open.
Yeah.
The Eagles don't do enough of that, and if their talent isn't tier one above all, then they've shown a pattern to
Well,
struggle in the
here's my
last
thing.
three
Here's my
years.
thing with what we're talking about here is we can point fingers at Patullo till the sun comes up tomorrow, but is there not something to be said about so Nick Sirianni was an offensive coordinator in Indianapolis. He comes to the Eagles. He has a great offensive coordinator. He leaves. It goes to shit for a season. They bring in another great offensive coordinator. It works. They win. He leaves. It goes to shit again. Why is there no continuity in the offensive scheme when the offensive coordinator rotates? Why is it so bipolar year to year? Like I think that it goes beyond whoever the like I know we love to point the finger at Brian Johnson and Kevin Patullo and say just get that guy out and everything's
Yeah,
fixed.
no, it's a philosophy issue. I agree with that.
It has to
But
start somewhere. Like there, I know that everyone thinks that the OC is like the only guy that's calling the plays and like running the offense. The head coach has your offensive philosophy and everything stems from that.
I agree. No, it's completely a philosophy issue, and they didn't run. Like, there was
I
problems with Kellen Moore's offense last year up until the halfway mark, and they kind of figured it out after they boat raced the Bengals in Cincinnati
yeah
last year. That's when they took off. But more so, even over a philosophy thing, it's like an inability to hire. Like if you don't have a
yeah.
philosophy and that's not your thing, then cool. Like I think Sirianni is a good figurehead for the city, first of all. So if that's all you kind of need out of your head coach, then so be it. Like that's how some head coaches are. But
I
can we show an ability to like
yeah
be able to identify talent for calling plays? Like if you're like, or is this Sirianni's, or are you trying to say this is just Sirianni's offense? I think it's a
no
philosophy
I
thing,
don't think
but
I don't think Sirianni. This might be a hot take. I even when they won the Super Bowl, I don't think Sirianni's the right. I think he's the right culture fit for this city and for this team. I don't think he's the right coach for this team. I don't. I never have, and I still don't. I don't think if there can't be that much of a lack of continuity year to year. That's you. That's your fault. You it can't just have to be you have two perfect coordinators on either side of you, and that's the only way it works. Even if you have the
I mean,
most
it's
talent in
also
the NFL.
self-induced turnover though. Like they're good enough where I mean, Hurts
No,
has had a
I
different
know,
OC every year, so
but
you're not going to have just a good blend of continuity there unless you have.
but you could have a system that's consistent. Like the coordinators can change. And also if you have so the reason that Matt LaFleur that the offense doesn't take a huge hit year to year, even
Because he's an
like
offensive mind.
people
I
exactly. And
I do
he
kind of believe offensive mind is the way you have to go, coach.
yeah, Ben
It's just,
Johnson.
but it's more so his inability to hire. Like, do you think it's his overarching philosophy on offense that is the reason that this is bad, or you believe it's lack of
No,
continuity? Because
I think his overarching lack of philosophy is the reason that it's that there's so much variance.
all right, yeah,
I
but all
don't
right,
think he has a philosophy. I think year to year they just they he probably sits down with the new OC and they make whatever their scheme is. I don't think it's like from scratch. I'd imagine he continues like I'm not naive to the fact that he has some sort of philosophy, but I don't think it's enough to the point that the OC is interchangeable the way it is in other
It still
organizations.
doesn't change the fact.
Like
Like
people
they,
do, could you name who the offensive coordinators for the Packers is right now?
I mean, it's no, because I mean LaFleur.
Because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
What we have an OC
yeah.
and he's heavily involved in our process, but we don't know because it doesn't fucking matter because LaFleur has the philosophy and he knows the scheme and they're going to be able to adapt regardless of who's coming in and out around him. He's had new DCs, new OCs. Coaches deal with this shit and the team doesn't fluctuate this way. They don't have an awful season every other year. I just I it seems, especially this year, glaringly obvious that he may not be equipped to deal with a roster with this much talent, in
I
my
just
opinion.
no, I agree. He doesn't have a philosophy, and that would be his philosophy. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't negate that the OC hires have been shit. They've been
Yeah,
shit,
every other one has
which
been
is
terrible.
that's the issue. It's there's plenty of talented offensive
And
minds
DC, he
across.
hired Matt Patricia.
Yeah, but
Obviously, that was
but
like
exactly they have got it right with Fangio.
right.
So it's just like, why is there is it a power struggle thing, or is it just an
Well,
actual ineptitude to identify talent for calling plays?
that's
Because
another
you're
question.
hiring scrubs. That's really the
Yeah,
fucking issue. And I get it. I feel like Sirianni as a culture fit, I think that matters just as much as getting a good offensive play caller, which it shows. I mean, they can still win 10 plus games with this bullshit that they've done 2 years.
yeah,
It's just that you gotta hire somebody who has at least some talent or some ego where he can step in and make it his on offense.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
No,
you've had
I agree with you. I do agree. I think, but also, is all of the onus there on Sirianni, or do you also attribute some of that to Howie?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have
I guess
that.
these are the things that we don't fully have, a transparent lens into. But the one thing is, Batulo's been with the organization since what, 2021? How long has he been with the Eagles?
It
But
doesn't
what
matter.
I'm saying is there shouldn't be. You have a guy who was in-house, who was in all of your offensive meetings, and there's this much variance in your offense. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
Uh,
was Kellen Moore that much of a guru
well,
that like everything goes to shit when he's gone?
he's been around and he's had success.
No, I know, but that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. Like, but if you need that to make things go, even with all this talent, and Sirianni is an offensive guy,
Andy
I
Reid's an
guess what
offensive
does he
guy.
bring to the table besides like being a Philly tough guy? Like his culture fit. What else does he bring to the table?
What does Jim Harbaugh bring to the table?
Defense.
Are we sure?
Everywhere he's gone, they've had a good defense. Yeah,
At this
of
point,
course.
I feel like you'll find similar gripes around the league with somebody. I think Harbaugh's a great example of that because he's going to have Greg Roman as his OC, and there's
Yeah,
going to be questions about the offense.
yeah,
I think you have it. You're looking at Andy Reid right now, and you're like, the offense has been bad since Eric Bieniemy has left. They've had no identity since he's gone the last 3 years. They haven't. It's been Mahomes
yeah.
and
I
you
mean,
can talk
it's
about
just
lack of weapons
Andy,
there, but
but
the game, you can look at Chiefs like the way that diehard Chiefs feel or diehard Chiefs fans feel, and they'll say that the game has passed them by
yeah.
and his
I mean,
offense philosophy is behind. So
I wouldn't
I think
disagree
there's
with
plenty
that.
of problems around the league where people are looking for offensive talent, and it's all stashed in the Shanahan and McVay tree.
Yeah,
So just hire from the fucking
yeah. The
Rams.
new,
It's
yeah,
really not that fucking
literally,
difficult.
just hire whoever's like an
That's why
offense.
I hate these in-house hires from the Eagles because it's like that wasn't your offense, it was Kellen Moore's offense.
Right.
And they hired somebody with actual cachet and it worked.
So do you think that the way this ends up unfolding is this ends up being like not a completely, I still think obviously they're probably going to make the playoffs and by all accounts they could still win this division and we could be, I mean, they could just be right back in the hunt for contention, whatever. They could even figure it out. But let's say they lose in the wild card of divisional round and they part ways with Petula. Do you think it's just they make a better hire and then everything starts to work again next year, or how do you think this ends up?
Kind of. Yeah, unless there's a shift in talent. But if you keep the same roster, no, I don't really unless the offensive line kind of implodes like it does. Because that's I mean that's a factor too in this.
Mm.
But I mean, you need more creativity on the offensive end. And from what history has shown with this group, that's exactly if you just change that one variable, then things are going to click way better than they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the overarching thing is like the CEO coaches are such like a, and Harbaugh's was a great example from you. Like I do think those are like the most contentious topics because it is just like how much weight do you put on like the identity of the team and like the culture of the team versus what they bring between the lines. Like, and I think what we're starting to see, the trend in the NFL is you bring in sort of the offensive guru coach, or on the flip side, D'Amico Ryans, that
And
that
Mike McDonald, they're the two
right.
defensive guys who are,
Those are the two
yeah.
on the flip side, but you would also say they're like defensive gurus and like masterminds.
Yeah, I mean, the other coach we can fucking point to, what does he do? Sean McDermott.
Or Dan Campbell. Yeah.
I still think Dan Campbell helped develop that offense.
No, I do too, but
Yeah,
you're seeing this year with changed coordinators, the team's much worse.
yeah.
But yeah, and
But again, that's an O line thing with them too. But we're not as deeply
yeah,
invested in them. So yeah,
McDermott's a good one.
yeah.
Like, but I even the Bills, the offense has more year to year success.
But you've kept the guy there for Joe Brady's been there for 2.5 years.
Yeah, I know, but like they were good with Dable.
They're good. Dable left, but then the guy they had between, I forget his name. There's fucking issues with him though. Like
Yeah,
and that's
yeah, but
before,
McDermott's a
and
good
right
one. And
after
it,
Joe Brady came in, James Cook got more involved. Like that was an obvious thing that people identified that
yeah,
they did too, and they made
yeah.
a change.
So the CEO coach is just, I mean, that's just always been a contentious topic. Is like what, and it's more so now, I think, because the your head coach now can have more say in one side of the ball and can have more leverage where to the point where like you honestly like the Packers don't need to have an offensive coordinator. Like
Yeah.
they don't need to have some of these positions. And on the other side of it, like D'Amico Ryans doesn't need a DC, Mike McDonald doesn't need a DC. But these kind of questions in seasons like this come up because it's just like when shit hits the fan, what do you bring to the table? Like when shit gets tough, how do you adapt? What are you changing? What are you bringing to the table that's going to shift the energy?
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's still a lot of season left. Like the Eagles could right the ship here. It's not a foregone conclusion that this is just like 2023 and it's done. It certainly is definitely trending that way
I
more
mean,
than the other
they
way.
they run offense like a team that's afraid to put things on tape for the playoffs. Like I'm telling you, just run motion and get like I don't get why they don't go under center or run motion more, especially the under center thing, because is that like a Hurts issue and he's not good under center? But I disagree with that because I saw the Minnesota game with my
Yeah.
very own two eyes. Yeah, tough one. Very,
Yeah.
very tough topic. And I mean, if they lose, if Trey Lance is starting Monday night and they lose to Trey Lance, which I kind of have seen flashes from Trey Lance, so I wouldn't be damn near surprised.
Niners
But
guy.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If it's Lance, their offense just becomes so like reductive, especially if Hampton does. I think Hampton is
oh no, I
trending
want to
to
see a
come
game.
back
I want to see a full game from Lance. I'm not fully convinced that he is
that
a
like he
bad.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not.
I mean, that's fair. Also, he's got weapons. I mean, like Lad's good. QJ's had a better year. Trey Harris is starting to come on. Gadsden. So yeah, I mean, I think either way it'll be a difficult game. Obviously in LA, I do think the Eagles will have more fans than them.
Like
But
always, yeah, they run
yeah,
that
like
stadium.
they'll run the stadium. But that could be a huge turning point game, especially I mean, the Lions are they still leading that
Yeah,
Cowboys
30,
game?
30-27. This is a good one.
30-27. Okay, so
Yeah.
we gotta make these picks and watch the end of that game. But this division could be really interesting going down the stretch. Let's go to our picks for week 14. Beck wasn't on. I went last week, but I went 10-6. I'm not gonna add that to the spreadsheet because that would just fuck all the numbers. Let's go. We both went Cowboys for the Thursday night game, which, as we said, is a tight one down the stretch. Let's go to Titans at Browns.
Is your jersey still going?
Yep, still Shadur. Although Deshaun Watson, I think, was just activated off
Yeah.
pup.
No,
I don't think he'll play this week, though.
I don't know. The Titans are one of the worst football teams like ever, man. I'll go Browns.
Perfect timing. I'm on the Browns. Let's go.
Just love to
Uh,
get. I'd love to have like. It's just tough to give an honest assessment on Cam Ward. It's one of the
no,
worst teams
no,
ever,
and
dude.
I think they want to be.
Yeah,
Let's go to Seahawks at Falcons. You
yeah,
got
give me the
Kirko,
Seahawks. Yeah,
and this could get ugly. Also, we didn't even talk about how shocking Browsmer was last week. That was so funny, dude.
yeah.
That
Kevin
was like a
O'Connell.
that was like a Peter. Now we know why they like didn't go to him earlier.
Kevin O'Connell looks funny in the light a little bit.
Yeah,
I get that these quarterbacks suck, but come on.
yeah. I mean,
I thought you're the whisperer. I thought.
well, just the fact that he had Darnold and Daniel Jones last year in house and was
Yeah.
just like, nah, we want 9, baby. Colts at Jags. Did the Colts get back right on the road?
It's a tough one to pick, honestly.
This is really tough to me.
Fuck, I might go Jags. They kind of owned Indy and Jacksonville just over the years.
Colts.
I'll go Jags, and I'm still not sold.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I'm gonna go Colts. Just because I think it's a coin flip, and I think we should be on either side, and I kind of think the Colts just need this more. Like I know that the Jags like are equally in the divisional race, but just for vibe's sake, like if the Colts lose another divisional game and they're fourth out of their last 5, dude, that's like the floor is falling out. So I'm
agreed.
gonna go Colts.
Yeah.
I think they keep themselves alive in the divisional race. Let's go Commies at Vikings. It could be Jaden Daniels again, but either way, I don't think
Yeah.
it matters to me.
Yeah, either way, I'm going Commanders.
So am I. And I'm shocked that the Vikings are a 1.5 favorite on this one. I guess you get
Feels like a
JJ
trap
back
spread
and
to
it's in Minnesota.
yeah, and yeah, it's a Jordan Mason tailor-made game since Jones is a little banged up. Washington run defense sucks.
And
I
does
can see
Mariota play 2
yeah.
straight good games?
I don't think this is a blow up JJ game. I think this is kind of like you'll
Yeah,
go
he'll probably be like fine.
it'll be passable, which
Yeah,
is I mean they badly need passable right now.
yeah. And then probably the bell of the ball. Bengals at Bills.
Going Bengals.
Bengals, let's go.
I just want the storyline.
You're sipping the Kool-Aid, dude. Let's
Yeah.
go. I really, for the sake of the AFC playoff race, I really hope the Bengals win that game. But I'm gonna go Bills at home. I just I think the Bengals lose at least one down the stretch, and this would be the most obvious one to me, especially if it's like a cold night at Orchard or a cold day at Orchard Park. Let's go Saints at Bucks.
I'll take Bucks. Shuck is
Yeah, I
showing
don't I don't I
some
don't hate
flashes.
him.
Yeah.
I think we were too harsh on him before the year.
He has some bad plays, but he has some like you kind of see the vision
Yeah,
to plays a little bit. And Devontae, like, what did I say?
yeah, he's back, dude.
Yeah,
He's back
my boy.
to getting peppered. I'm gonna go Bucks too. Let's go Steelers at Ravens. Huge one in this division.
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm also gonna go Ravens. I just think the Steelers are in complete shit show mode. I think they're donezo. Dolphins at Jets. The 5-7 Dolphins. Are they still alive?
Give me the Jets.
Yeah, I think this is a trap game too. I'm gonna take the Dolphins though, just because I do think they're playing a bit better of late, and I don't know if Tyrod can play another good game back to
Yeah,
back.
fair
Let's
enough.
go Broncos at Raiders. Woof.
Yeah, the Raiders are the second worst team in the NFL.
They might be the worst.
They're not worse. The Tennessee is just so bad.
That game would be cinema. Raiders
That
Titans.
would be. Did they play?
That might be the
There.
best hoops. I was just thinking that.
Might have played. Who
Yeah, they
knows?
did. Raiders won in week
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. Let's see. It was that significant.
Yeah. We don't even remember it.
Yeah.
Rams at Cardinals. The frisky
Rams.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll make every.
Rams, but could this be interesting?
Yeah,
Divisional
probably.
game?
Probably.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon loves nothing more than to lose a tight game where
Yeah.
it all falls apart at the
And
end.
Jacoby's kind of him.
Yeah, they're the Bears of last year.
I'm all in on Jacoby Brissett, by the way. He's him. He's the man, dude. Bears at Packers. Packers are a surprising 6.5 point favorite in this one. I think that's way too many points.
I want to say, my heart wants to say Bears, but my mind's telling me Packers just because I don't think the
Go
Bears
with your
will.
heart. You know where I'm going.
Yeah, I'll go Bears.
Let's go.
And I'm still not a believer. I won't be a believer, but
I'm gonna go Packers. I think we split the two games with them over the next 3 weeks. We're gonna lose at Soldier and we're gonna win this weekend. Texans at Chiefs Sunday Night Football. This one's massive, dude.
Say the Chiefs.
Chiefs need this.
It, actually, but like they're a disaster, dude.
I know,
Fuck it.
but
Give me Texans. Fuck it.
let's go. Let's go.
That was that's like this is
I'm
the
on the
hard.
Texans too.
This is a hard game to pick
I'm
though.
on the
Like,
Texans too. I think this is a really bad matchup for the Chiefs. I think the Colts was the perfect get back right spot because I think that's an overrated defense in Indy. And like you can live like Mahomes' magic moments can kind of get you through some of those games. I think the Texans, especially if they have a lead late, they can shut everything down. And the Chiefs' run game is non-existent still. We're in
I mean,
what week? We're in week 14, and they have no run
yeah,
game.
yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
So, I mean,
Sadly.
I don't know. I think that their passing attack was explosive and has been explosive, but yeah, I love the Texans right now. I think they're taking it to another gear. Let's go Eagles at Chargers Monday Night Football. Could be no Herbert. He had a procedure on his left hand. Even if he does play, which some people think he might, he won't be able to take snaps under center. So
Okay.
we could get a Trey Lance show, or we could just get a hampered Herbert show.
Give me a Chargers. The Eagles are improving for
Wow.
me. For me.
Wait, so do you think this is like the wheels fall off week?
I
Or
think this is the ch change needs to be made week, unfortunately.
damn. So what's the change? Just fire Patullo?
Yeah, or demote him or something. I don't know, man. It's dire.
Also Carter out. I think the Charge can get a little busy in the run game.
The Eagles have never lost a game where you come away feeling like not terrible about it. Like in the last 4 years.
that was the biggest thing about that Bears loss, dude. It's just like they got
Actually, the Washington game last year, Washington's like the only one, but that's because Hurts went out. But like any game that Hurts has started and finished and they've lost, haven't come away like feeling okay about
yeah, it's
that
ugly.
game ever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even a lot of the wins, you don't come
Yeah.
away like, holy fuck, that team's amazing after a
Yeah,
lot of
I
these
know.
games.
Hey, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Ah, fuck. I'm pissed you went Chargers because that was gonna be my pick. I just think they're gonna get gashed in the run game again. They're stylistically really similar to the Bears. The Chargers are. I I think this is a I think it's a bad matchup. But if Lance plays, I'm gonna go. Can I do it contingent upon whether Herbert plays?
Yeah,
All right, I say if Herbert plays, Chargers win. If Lance plays, I'll take the Birds.
got it.
All right.
Sounds good.
That's our week 14 picks. Let's get to the end of this Cowboys Lions game,
Yeah, Lions just scored. So
and we'll see you boys next week and gals. We're here for everybody.
hell yeah.
All right.